It is not a sign of weakness to get help from others, to have them help guide us through our mental fog that we're in. And again, sometimes that mental fog isn't always finance. I coach people on more than just finance. I help them get past that 6 inches between their ears that is causing them conflict.
Welcome to Give a Heck. I am your host, Dwight Heck, and for much of my life, lived my life in quiet desperation, wondering how I was going to pay the bills, take vacations, save for retirement, and one day wondering if I would get off the hamster wheel of life and have purpose. A life that most of society lives, which takes us to work, then home, then repeat, and pays us hopefully enough just to survive. The harsh truth that most live with more month than money and have no idea how to live life on purpose, not by accident. This ensures the mass majority are living not just financially broke, however emotionally and mentally as well due to financial pressures. In each episode, I will introduce you to thoughts, ideas, and guests that can help you to learn how you too can live life on purpose, not by accident.
Good day and welcome to Give a Heck. On today's episode, it's going to be me discussing something that is a really sensitive topic with people, and that is something as simple as, can you honestly afford a pack of gum and know that if you spend that money that it's not going to affect your other responsibilities in your life, other things that you need to pay for and are responsible for you living a purposeful life? Today in life, we literally will go out and we purchase things on the whim. We'll use a credit card because it's convenient. And now with tap technology, it's so simple just to buy it, tap it, and worry about the consequences after the fact. Most of us don't live a purposeful life. And unfortunately, in order to live a purposeful life, you need to utilize something that makes people squirm, not squim, squimish today. They literally get the heebie-jeebies. Some people will call it that, or they'll just get the shivers. The word budget. But unfortunately, today we live on a hamster wheel, most of us. We literally go to work, go home, start over again the next day, rinse and repeat. We get paid. And then unfortunately, we spend the days of the month hoping that that money will last to pay all the things that it needs to pay, the needs that we have of life. Unfortunately, we get caught up on wants because the committee of they or society writes our story and tells us through advertising, through conversations with others, that we need to own this, we need to purchase this, and that in order for us to have a happy life, we need to keep up with what other people have. You have to have that newer vehicle, one quite frequently replaced every few years. Maybe you need to have that big house. Yet, if we open the doors up of most people in society's life and looked inside of it, many homes aren't even furnished. They can't afford to furnish them. And you see the facade of the outside, yet it's not fulfilled inside. And that's with a lot of our emotional and mental lives as well. We present a facade, we communicate with people, and we tell people what we think they want to hear. We give of our time and our resources to people because we want to please them. But the person that we're not pleasing is ourselves. So society, and which includes our friends and family and those that we work with, our clients, if we have a business, whatever the case may be, they're directing how we spend our energy, when in reality, we should be directing it. We are the director of our lives. In order to have a purposeful life, you need to direct how your life is lived on the daily. And one of those tools, again, makes people get all squirmy, is a budget. A budget is a very powerful tool. It is not something that's meant to let you live a life that's more restrictive. It's designed to make it so that if you're bringing $1 in, you're not spending more than $1. You're not spending $1.20. Are there circumstances that happens? Absolutely. Then you have to utilize lines of credits, overdraft, maybe a credit card. But if you have a structured roadmap, a financial roadmap, which is based on goal setting, knowing what you want today, what you want into retirement, and what you even want if something was to happen to you in a tragedy, and you apply that to a budget. It's easy to see, oh, this month is, now we're in May. I have got all my expenses down, something has come up, and I'm going to spend more than I make this month. Oh, wait, next month I've forecasted out and nothing has come up that I'm aware of yet in June. And we'll have some extra money that can help offset what we had to put onto a line of credit that went into overdraft, went on a credit card, and you can get it paid off. Sometimes it could be something that is quite expensive that happened. And again, we'll use this month of May, and it could take you months to do it. But if you have a strategy in place, you have a financial roadmap in place, you know what your goals are, you know what your budgeted numbers are, it makes it so much easier to actually stay on track, to live that purposeful life. And I'm not saying that I've never been there. Trust me, those of you that have read my book, Give a Heck, How to Live Life on Purpose and Not by Accident, or have ever listened to my podcasts or read my posts, understand that I've lived on the hamster wheel of life many times in my life. And it doesn't take much for a person to slide back. But when you have something like goals that are set out and a budget to help you stick to those goals, it makes it so much easier to rebound in a very quick fashion. And it literally is something that you literally, it's imperative. It's imperative for a person to live a purposeful life. And we haven't been taught that throughout our lives, right from grade school all the way to if you went to college or university, or maybe you went right from high school into the school of hard knocks, and you've never been taught it. You've been given a task, you get paid for that task, you take that money, you spend it, and again, you rinse and repeat, and you live that way, not understanding, am I going to have enough to buy a pack of gum and it not affect what I've got going on in the month of May? Or is it going to put me behind the eight ball and make me have to suffer financially because something as simple as a pack of gum may seem, you may be chuckling at it, but I have people in my life, including myself, that have experienced that you really couldn't even afford that luxury of a pack of gum. Because is a pack of gum a want or is it a need? Well, for some of you, it might be a need. Maybe you're trying to quit an addiction to smoking or something, and it helps you keep your mind off of things. Well, in that circumstance, that's a need, and that would be something that you would budget. Yes, it's a small ticket item I'm using as an example, but really, at the end of the day, it is an example that is something that a person needs to think about. And that's that need versus a want. Do you really understand the differences between a need versus a want? I started at a very young age with my children, teaching them the differences between a need and a want. And I currently use that on myself all the time. I'll go to do stuff and I'm in a feel good moment and I'll justify something is a need when really it's a want, and I'll spend that money and I shouldn't. Have you ever been there? Do you have stories you would like to share? Reach out to me. Let's chat. Let's get in communication and see if I can help you clear out some of the, cobwebs that you have between your 6 inches. I've been there many times. I've had people mentor me through the challenges and circumstances and trials and tribulations as well. And sometimes we just need that person to listen and figure out that our story is something that is causing us some challenges. It is not a sign of weakness to get help from others, to have them help guide us through our mental fog that we're in. And again, sometimes that mental fog isn't always finance. I coach people on more than just finance. I help them get past that 6 inches between their ears that is causing them conflict. And many times when we have conflict, it causes problems within our financial structure because we will spend money. Again, we'll justify things that are an actual want, not a need, and we'll go spend that money. And we allow ourselves to do that because we get that feel good, that, oh, this is awesome. We get something else, though, that happens for many of us is buyer's remorse, and we wish we wouldn't have spent that money. Sometimes we could return it, many times we don't because we are using pride as something to stop us. We don't want to, admit to ourselves or to that person in the store. Maybe you're afraid that they're going to look at you and judge you for returning something when you realize that it actually was a want, not a need. Now, literally, it is something that is prevalent and an issue across the world, not just in North America, where people spend more money, right, than they have days in the month. And they don't understand the rules of the money game. And it is so simple to help fix it. I have a couple chapters in my book that specifically talk about goal setting and budgeting that have had people as young as 19, 20 years of age reach out to me, people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, that it has made them understand and decide to have an impact on their life and quit jumping on that hamster wheel and decide that they want to live a purposeful life. They want to understand what a need and a want is. And we go through examples of those needs and wants. And how do we do that? Well, we have discussions. We build a relationship. And when you start writing numbers down on that budget that people are so fearful of, they have an aha moment and go, wow, I got all these things that I spend every single month. I don't even think about it. And I'm spending $1.20 and I'm only bringing in $1. And I've been consistently doing that for months and years of my life. And now it makes so much more sense when we do what's called a net worth statement and we see their assets versus their liabilities. Why their liabilities? They've got all this debt on credit cards at high interest. They've got all this debt on lines of credit. Again, you're paying higher interest rates. And literally, they don't know how to get off that hamster wheel because they keep on spending, and they just keep on living that, bringing in $1, spending $1.20. Maybe it's higher for some people, it's $1.60. Again, you can put in whatever numbers you want to. Use $1,000 and you're spending $1,200 every month. You're never going to get ahead. You're never going to be able to pay that debt off. Robbing Peter to pay Paul. I've been that person. Spent years of my life where I was raising my kids as a single dad, and I'd pay one utility bill, right? That was accumulated. Maybe it was 3, 4 months. I'd get a disconnection notice. I'd pay it, but then I wouldn't be able to pay other bills. And then I'd let those bills compound and grow until I got, a warning letter from them, and then I'd pay them. That's what's robbing Peter to pay Paul. And I did that for months. I did it for years until I realized, I'm stuck on this hamster wheel. Realizing that, to be honest with you, I'd been in the finance industry for many years, was educating and teaching people that. But the reason I'm being honest with you and vulnerable is that it's easy to slip backwards. So we always have to constantly have something that's gauging and keeping us on track in life. And for myself and many, that is understanding the rules of the money game, understanding that needs versus wants, understanding, what do I want today? Do I want to have a paid off vacation, or am I okay going on vacation, putting it on a credit card, and maybe I can pay it off 2, 3 years? Maybe I don't know. I'm not sure if I can, because I really don't know what my numbers are, what my actual needs are. What are all my costs? I got a mortgage. Do I have rent? Do I have vehicle payments? Do I have, costs that I have to pay off because I bought some furniture on a don't pay a cent event? Didn't realize that it was going to be 25 to 30% interest after that don't pay a cent for a year. And now I've got this payment to pay, but that payment is so high because of interest. Now it's going to affect me being able to pay the needs that I have in my life. Food, utilities, gasoline for my vehicle to get to work. Oh, wait a minute. I don't even have the ability to save for my future. Nobody's ever taught me that if I make $1, I should be saving 10 cents to 20 cents of it and then budgeting to live off of, let's say, 80 cents if you're a person that can save 20 cents. And those numbers are when they're in black and white. When I sit with people and I educate them, and I have clients that of all walks of life, from people that are laborers, people that are teachers, people that are working in the energy industry, people that are doctors, people that are teachers, for an example. I have people from all walks of life that need help. The difference between somebody making $1 versus $10 is the fact that they are a lot of times at a higher level of broke. They're just having higher expenditures. They're still falling into that trap and not understanding needs or wants. They don't have goals. They don't know how to get out of debt. They don't know how to save for retirement. They don't know how to save for their kids' education if they have kids. They don't know how to save for a vacation that's not based on um, putting it on a credit card and just hoping they can pay it off. I have clients that buy vehicles and they never can ever pay it off. They end up trading it off and they get another vehicle and they roll that debt off of that last vehicle that hasn't been paid off onto the new one, and they're in debt forever. They are on a proverbial hamster wheel of financial debt for that vehicle. And I see it time and time again. I am not here to judge you. I have had opportunity in my life where I've slipped backwards being in this industry, teaching people how to get out of debt, helping them stay on track. Yet I had something happen in my life where I allowed myself to fall back and get back into that trap again. And trust me, it is difficult and it's a humbling experience, especially when you're somebody that coaches and educates people. But I just want to be truthfully honest with you that it does happen. It hasn't happened in a long time for myself, and I strive to continue so that it doesn't happen to me. But sometimes it happens. People lose a job. The pandemic hurt so many of us. It caused our income to be not as good as it might have been before the pandemic, especially if you're commission based or a person that, it's based on the fact of your job and you got so many hours, but all of a sudden the pandemic made it so you weren't getting as many hours. I know with myself, my commission base fell off, right? I didn't have as much money coming in. So I've had to reinvent myself over the last couple of years in regards to how I approach my business, how I think about spending money. My point is our financial life, our life of living a life of purpose is an evolution, and it never is going to stop. It never should stop. If you're stuck, have you ever thought of personal development in regards to reading good books, not fiction-based books, but non-fiction-based books, listening to podcasts that aren't true crime based, that are doom and gloom, but a podcast that might help uplift you, give you some ideas of how you can move your life forward. I know my Give a Heck podcast is a variety of guests, very few finance based, a lot of people that are coaches that coach people on how to live a more better, purposeful life. They give their strategies and they explain, this is my origin, this is where I was, this is where I am now, and this is the people I serve and why I do it. So they're inspirational based podcasts, right? There's lots of podcasts out there like my Give a Heck podcast. But what you need to do though is actually look for that. Quit having associations of, again, if you like true crime, go right ahead. But I'm telling you, that's not going to move your life forward. It might give you a feel good thing, but most often it's putting negativity in your 6 inches between your ears and not moving your life forward. So work on your associations while you're working on goal setting, your budgeting. Everything in your life has a purpose. That's what a purposeful life is. And having somebody coach you and mentor you through this process can accelerate timeframes and literally make it so that you can reach that sooner. But you got to start somewhere. You got to start with admitting to yourself that you have challenges and be able to reach out to somebody and be humble enough to understand that you can't do it on your own anymore, that you need help, that you need assistance to uplift your life, to up level your life. And maybe I'm that person. Maybe I'm not. Maybe we have a free strategy call and you go to giveaheck.com and you book a call with me and we jump on a call and we don't click. That's okay. But it's still a baby step. It's still you saying, you know what, I need help. I need somebody to help me grow past where I'm currently at because I'm stuck. And I'm telling you right now, no success in life is ever achieved within your comfort zone. No association in your life that is dragging you backwards is going to help you all of a sudden spring forward to get out of that camped mindset and start climbing again, right? So that's why I talk about your associations. What are you watching? What are you reading? What are you listening to? Who are you associating with? If they don't make you feel good, more than they make you feel sad, then it's time to look at reevaluating your associations. I coach people on how to do that. I utilize it every single day in my own life. Is it tough? Absolutely. Do I make mistakes? Absolutely. The difference is I reevaluate my day every single day. I get up with a morning of gratitude. I'm grateful that I have another shot. And when I go to bed at night, and for myself, I pray and I have gratefulness and I reevaluate my day, what's gone good, what's gone bad. And I thank God for me, for you could be their universe for letting some great things happen that day. Why do I do that? Well, in the morning when I wake up, I'm refreshed. I'm thinking differently because I went to bed with positive thoughts, not negative. Even when it's involving reevaluation of my day and there's some negative there, I'm thinking to myself, how can I do differently tomorrow? This is what I could have done differently, or this is what I did right. And the outcome might not have been what I wanted it to be, but tomorrow's another shot. Tomorrow's another day. And I go to bed like that so that I wake up in a positive state of mind. Does it work 100% of the time? Absolutely not. I'd be lying if I said it did. But in most cases, it does because I'm purposeful about my thought processes. Even during the day, if I have something negative that goes on, I work hard on it and I utilize a strategy I call the 70-30 principle. And I apply it against that. And I know how to time myself out when I'm having a really bad moment. And I go and I associate with things that are going to change my mindset. Sometimes that's reaching out to somebody that I know that's just going to listen, and then by them listening, I come up with my own answers. Or maybe they're a person that can help me by giving me different thought processes to think about my circumstance, my character building moment I'm going through. Maybe it's a podcast that I listen to, or an audio book, or maybe you're a physical book reader and you can pick up a book that will help change your mindset. But there's things that you can do to change your life. You just have to be willing to put in that effort to actually want to change. You have to understand your why. And if you can't understand that right away, have somebody else help you, right? Have somebody talk to you and make it so that you have to speak it out loud. And when you speak it out loud, maybe you'll have that epiphany, that aha moment for the first time in a long time in your life. Heck, maybe it's the first time you've ever had an epiphany and you've been living on the hamster wheel of life for a long, long time and have felt helpless. The moral of all of this is, do you want to change? Are you sick of being in your comfort zone? Are you sick how you feel when you hang out with certain people or do certain things in your life and aren't sure how to escape that? Do you know if you can actually retire someday comfortably? Sorry, having an issue speaking there for a moment. Do you know that you can retire comfortably? Do you know that you can get out of debt? Do you know that you could ever go on a vacation? Right? Do you know that you can save for a future that you've always envisioned? Do you know how to do that? I can help you. And there's many people out there that can help you. And I hope to hear from you. So my one last closing message that I always ask my clients, pardon me, my guests when I have them on is, if I was going to give you one last closing message, what would it be? You're worthy. That's my message. You have the ability, the seeds of greatness within you. You just need to have somebody help water them so that they can sprout and grow so you can become the person that you have always wanted to be and are meant to be. So on that note, I appreciate your time. Reach out to me at giveaheck.com. Book a strategy call with me. Pick up my book. You can get it through Amazon. You can also go onto my website and there's a book link there and you can actually find out how to get my book for nothing, right? Just pay the shipping costs and you can book a strategy call on top of that. Check out my podcast. It's released every single Tuesday. Maybe a guest that I have on will make it so that you think differently. Maybe it'll be somebody that you want to reach out to help you with your life. In my world, I'm not looking for you to only think that I'm the end all be all, because I'm not. different strokes for different folks is such a great statement. Everybody has their person or persons that can help elevate and change their mindset. Maybe I could be that for you. On that note, thank you so much for listening to this episode. And don't forget, I care, I want the best for you, and I give a heck. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you for taking time out of your day and listening to Give a Heck. If you find value, I'd appreciate you sharing with your friends and family so they too can learn how to live life on purpose, not by accident. So you do not miss the next episode, please subscribe on your favorite podcast platform and please also post a review. I look forward to reading your comments. This has been Dwight Heck. If you want to check out other podcast episodes or today's show notes, please check out my website, giveaheck.com. And until next time, together let us all strive to give a heck.